Secret Invasion's finale left a bunch of loose ends for the MCU to tie up, including a great idea for Thor 5, Thor vs. the Skrulls. Unlike the comic book, where everyone and their mother was a Skrull, Marvel's Secret Invasion show was a low-key affair that barely involved the Avengers or anyone else who mattered. Still, Secret Invasion's last episode should have some consequences for the MCU, because the Skrull problem is far from over. On the bright side, Secret Invasion's ending wrapped up its main plot. Graphic is toast, and the Skrull rebels' plan of nuking Earth before moving in has been foiled. Also, the humans who were swapped by Skrulls, like James Rhodes and Everett Ross, have been returned. On the not-so-bright side, Fury still owes the Skrulls a favor, and Earth has to deal with the fallout of the Secret Invasion. The paranoia that the world will now have because of the Skrulls' shenanigans can set up other Marvel stories, like one where Thor and his buddies are seen as the bad guys. After the events of Secret Invasion, how do Thor's Asgardians become unwelcome guests? After the Skrulls' failed attempt to take over Earth, U.S. President Ritson decided to kick out every alien on Earth in the Secret Invasion's finale. Ritson has approved an emergency bill that labels all off-world species as enemy combatants, meaning that not only the Skrulls but every alien on Earth is now persona non grata in America. That's a bummer for the many Skrulls who were just chilling on Earth, and also for the other aliens on Earth who had nothing to do with the Skrulls' invasion. This includes the Asgardians, who have been squatting on Earth since Avengers Endgame. After Asgard was smashed in Thor Ragnarok, Thor made Tonsberg, Norway, into New Asgard, which is now under Valkyrie's command. The Asgardians are clearly off-world species, as stated in President Ritson's emergency bill, which means that they are now officially unwelcome guests in the U.S., assuming that other countries will follow Ritson's decision in Secret Invasion's finale. Every alien on Earth might soon become an enemy in the eyes of every nation. This would include the Asgardians, even though they have been living peacefully among humans for more than 5 years now. So, that's that. Now let's talk about the villain, Hercules. But is Hercules the only candidate for the next villain? I don't think so. Zeus is unhappy that people admire heroes more than gods, so he sends his son Hercules to deal with Thor. This makes Hercules the most likely enemy for Thor in his next film, but some fans think that Hercules is not enough. According to one theory, Thor and Hercules might end up as allies. Then Zeus would send his other son Ares to kill them both. This would be an interesting plot, exploring more of the Greek myths. But maybe Hercules will only be a bad guy for a short time, and then another villain will take over. Here are some of the best guesses. The first one is Enchantress. She is a god from the Marvel comics and a frequent foe of Thor. Some fans even think that Sylvie from the Loki show could be a combination of Loki and the Enchantress. So maybe she, or someone like her, will become an Enchantress in the MCU. It would be great to see Sophia DiMartino, who played Sylvie in Loki, in this role. With that, let's see how Phase 5 has created the perfect backstory for Siege. The Dark Reign saga in Marvel Comics led to the Siege event, where Norman Osborn tried to take over New Asgard with his team of villains. Osborn had gained a lot of power and trust after stopping the Skrull invasion in Secret Invasion, and he replaced S.H.I.E.L.D. with his agency Hammer. He then convinced the President that New Asgard was a danger to the world, just like he did with the Skrulls in the Secret Invasion. However, the MCU does not have Norman Osborn yet. Spider-Man No Way Home showed that Oscorp does not exist in the main MCU timeline, so it is unlikely that we will see him soon. But the Dark Reign Siege story that follows Secret Invasion and shows how the heroes lose their status and credibility in a fearful and suspicious world can still work without Osborn. Thunderbolt Ross, who will be president in Captain America Brave New World, could play a similar role as Osborn, along with Valentina, in Captain America 4 and Thunderbolts. And why Siege would be perfect for Thor 5's story. While a comic-accurate adaptation of Marvel's Siege would not quite work in the MCU, many of the characters involved are not even part of the franchise yet. The concept of this comic would be perfect for Thor 5's story. It is important to remember that the main reason Nick Fury tried to weaponize the Tesseract was Thor's arrival on Earth a couple of years earlier. Fury thought Earth needed protection after seeing Thor fight Loki and destroy everything around them, leading right into the events of the Avengers. Several years later, Asgard made Earth its new home, and it all went down peacefully. Having the governments of the world make Asgard and other aliens enemies would bring Thor's MCU story full circle. After years in which people in armor, sorcerers, radioactive people, and aliens were cherished as superheroes, Secret Invasion could reverse the MCU status quo back to how it was during Phase 1. The Skrulls' attack could lead to paranoia regarding the next alien invasion, making the planet unsafe for the Asgardians. This would surely bring Thor's attention back to Earth, which could tie into how he reunites with the Avengers. Even if Thor 5 doesn't happen anytime soon, this story could be covered in Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. Thor Ragnarok is expected to be a significant game-changer in the MCU due to the aftermath of the Secret Invasion storyline. In Secret Invasion, the Skrull problem was not entirely resolved, and the Skrulls' failed attempt to take over Earth has led to some severe consequences. The ending of Secret Invasion creates potential storylines for Thor 5, as it sets up a situation where Thor and his fellow Asgardians might be perceived as enemies by Earth's nations due to the paranoia caused by the Skrulls' actions. Additionally, the movie may introduce new villains, one of whom could be Dario Agger, also known as the Minotaur. Agger, the CEO of Roxxon Corporation, has a personal vendetta against Thor and could become a major threat in the movie. Another possible villain is Mangog, a powerful creature seeking to destroy Asgard. Thor 5 might draw inspiration from the comic storyline Siege, where Norman Osborn, with considerable political power after the Skrull invasion, tries to turn the public against New Asgard. Although the MCU currently lacks a Norman Osborn character, the concept of Siege could still be adapted to explore how Earth's governments react to the presence of Asgard and other aliens. Thor 5 could be expected to explore the consequences of the Skrull invasion, potentially making Asgard and other aliens unwelcome on Earth, and setting up compelling villains for Thor and Jane Foster to face. The movie could bring Thor's story full circle, tying his attention back to Earth and reuniting him with the Avengers, even if it doesn't happen immediately, and could be part of a broader narrative across MCU films. And there you have it, Marvel fans. Thor 5 promises to be an epic ride, with the aftermath of Secret Invasion shaking up the MCU like never before. With the Skrull problem far from over and Asgardians facing the challenges of being unwelcome guests on Earth, Thor and Jane Foster are in for some thrilling adventures. Now don't forget the intriguing possibility of a Dark Reign Siege-inspired storyline. While Norman Osborn may be missing from the scene, we can't help but wonder how Thunderbolt Ross and Valentina will fill in those villainous shoes and wreak havoc on Thor and the heroes. Now before we go, here are some questions to ponder. Who will be the ultimate baddie in Thor 5? Could Hercules be Thor's ally or foe? And what other surprises does Marvel have in store for us? Let us know your wildest theories and predictions in the comments below. Until next time, may Mjolnir be with you.